Everyone, a very good evening to each one of you. Welcome to the F3 Financial Accounting class. I am C. Anshu Budhia. I would be taking your classes. Okay, so I'll be your mentor for this subject. I hope everybody gets the comfort, gets the understanding that I want everyone to have. Okay, so everyone just be relaxed, calm, composed. We are going to have very fun-filled sessions. So I do hope that all of you enjoy financial accounting, because as it is, this topic is very interesting. It's very much practical based. And most of us love accounting. I believe so. So I believe this is going to be a very interesting, learning sessions that you are going to have. Hi, Purneet. Before we move ahead and we start with the things, guys, there are a few things that I would like to give you as instructions. Okay. Number one, the mode of communication is going to be only English language. Okay. That is the language that I'm going to use in the class is only English. The language that you are going to use in the class is only English. You have any language concerns or some things, sometimes you want to use other languages, you're free to do that. You can connect with me on WhatsApp. Okay. So that's the way that we can connect. We can connect after the class. Here also, once the class is over, then if you have any doubts, we can discuss it and you can use your chosen language. Another thing, how you are going to ask your queries, how you are going to ask your doubts. Are you going to unmute yourself? No. Please keep your videos and audios off and only just look at me and hear my voice. When I would need you to speak up, I would allow you to unmute yourself. Other than that, you're going to be, asking me doubts and queries only through the chat mode. Okay, so please be very active in using those chat mode and raise your hands, because I would be asking you questions, you would be asking your queries. So this mode is always going to be on. Thank you, Romanchak. Good to hear that. Okay, now guys, before we do anything, we start with the topics. I make you introduce with the topic. Can you all please tell me about yourself, what you are currently doing? Say, I don't want to call out names first. Can you please type in your chat box what you are currently doing? Be quick. Now, this is not a question or that is requiring an answer, so you're taking time. Okay. So, Yash, welcome to the professional world, right? First step towards your professional levels. Good. Excited. Same with Apurva, right? Excited. Okay. Janvi and Romanchak, you're doing BCom. Okay. Harkirat, that's okay. You're attending your first class. But tell me what you're doing apart from attending your first class. Okay. Lakshya as well. Even I'm excited to teach you all. Let me tell you that. Okay, so you are doing BCom honors. Mehak, Vanshika. Okay, Arsalan. Welcome to the professional world. World as in, so first step towards that, right? Yes, I know. Namira, you're doing ACCA. Thank you for telling me that. That is why we are meeting. No, apart from this, what you're doing? Tell me that. Okay, so good. Chitra is a new beginning, right? So you want to now go from accounts to a professional accountant. So from accountant to professional accountant, right? Okay. So Vipul is doing BCom. Harkirat BCom. Harkirat is past 12 then, right? Yeah. So, and please guys, please don't, please try to rename your IDs in Zoom. I mean, I'm finding IDs like Moto, like users. So how I'm going to ask you questions? I cannot say, no, user, answer me this question. Please write your names there. Okay, good. Diksha, first year. Kanak, first year. Paneet, probably first year. Yeah, Rucha, first year. Okay, second year. So I've got all the young, energetic people with me now. Can I say that? So that means whenever I'm going to be asking you questions, okay, good, Yash. So whenever I'm going to be asking you questions, you are going to be super energetic in replying to me. I don't have to call your names, right? You all are going to reply me like super quickly because I have all the super energetic young crowd here. So I believe everybody has told me about themselves. Let me check if there is anyone who's sitting silently and not reverted. Rahul, can you revert what you're doing? Rest everyone. I hope I've not missed you. Missed your comment. No. Rahul, what are you doing, dear? Okay, second year. So you have a lot of counterparts over here. Some are in the 12th, just past 12th, some are in the second year. So the one thing that I find common in all of you are, you have got the eager to learn. So guys, please keep that, okay? Please keep that eagerness, that excitement to learn new things. There are a lot of things that you must have done in your 12th. But then when you relate here, sometimes some entries become little different because following Indian accounting standards and IFRS makes little bit differences, but that's okay. So don't keep yourself in that mode where you ask questions, why the entries are different. Why? Because IFRS has made it different. You have any worries? Contact IFRS committee. That's what, no? They have formulated it. So we will be having a very smooth sailing journey of this subject. We are not going to be any hush-hush, any rush-rush thing. I want one thing from all of you. Please just give me that commitment that you're going to be attending the live sessions regularly. Don't give me excuses, ma'am, I was not well, ma'am, I was traveling, ma'am, I had my exams, blah, blah, blah. 2 hours will not take anything from you. You have not completed your homework, which I would be giving you regularly. That's okay. That's okay means that doesn't actually is not okay, but that doesn't mean you're going to miss your lectures. Please don't miss it. Trust me, whenever you attend live sessions, maximum things get retained over here. So even if you forget to revise one or two things in the exam, you would find something back in the mind telling you, yes, I've done that in my class. So please be regular. You have any worries, any queries, any issues, I'm there. Okay, I'm there. You put it in the group, you put it to me on WhatsApp personal, you put it here in the chat, I am there. When you have live sessions, try to use more of the class, class chat box to ask me queries rather than WhatsApp, because it's more quicker way to do it. Right? So now I just need one thing from you: commitment that you're going to attend your live sessions and sincerity in your studies. We'll have fun, we'll have good time. But when we're studying, I want that dedication from you 100%. Because I have students who have scored 96, 97, 98 in F3. So this cannot just come by any fluke or any shortcut. This has to be done with a lot of hard work and practice. Okay, I'm not going to preach a lot, don't worry. But an important announcement for all BCom students. We Indian BCom students, we have a habit of doing what? Studying at the end. When you have the BCom dates, for example, it's 10th of August, we'll start studying from 1st of August, no? Who studies for BCom anyways? It's that approach that we follow. But please don't carry that approach here. These are professional exams. We cannot afford to do that here. Okay, so don't take any exam lightly. Don't think that, oh, it's F3, I'm going to clear like anything. No, dear, these are professional exams. So you'll have all twisted questions in the exam. For that, you need to run your brains. And that can only happen if you're studying. Okay, suddenly wake up one week before the exams. I'm sorry. Okay, that will not do. So don't do the habit. And secondly, there is nothing important in ACCA. Why? Because there is everything important. So we don't have any shortcuts here that you study these 5-6 chapters and you'll have your questions coming from this. BCom students can relate to it, right? But don't have that habit in ACCA. Because boss, this is again a professional exam. So anything can come from anywhere in the syllabus. So whatever we learn, whatever we understand here is something that you are going to grab in and understand every bits and bits of it. Okay, don't leave any scope for any errors. And keep practicing, keep working hard. Every class, I want you to carry your notebooks, books, and calculator. Okay, books as in have the ebook version if you have. So purchase the books. VGLD team provides it. Please buy the latest books, the ones which is applicable from September 22 onwards. Okay, please buy those books. If you ask me, ma'am, we have the older version. Is there any difference in the new book? Yes, there are differences that happens. Okay, the additions, every edition has got some difference. So it's better to buy the old new books. Otherwise, you'll keep editing your old books. So it's better if you buy old new books. Also, get buy the books. I know there are a lot of PDFs that are available in the market. Don't go for that. It's my suggestion. Reason being, when you buy the books, you get code. With that, you get ebook access. So you are able to access to a big question bank that is there on the that is there in the ebooks. That is not otherwise there in your PDFs. Right? So it's more better that you have more questions available. So it's better to buy the books. Okay. Now, first, let me also tell you about myself, because you all must be wondering, she's not even told about herself and she's asking us questions about yourselves. So let me tell you, I am Anshu Budhia and I've been taking ACCA classes for the last 7 years now. And last year also I took F3, and this year also I'm taking F3. So there are some students in the class, those who have taken MA also from me right now, or they are going through those recordings and attended those sessions. So I do hope that this becomes again a very smooth journey for all of you. You have any queries, any problems, any issues, do not be hesitant. I'm not that very strict and dangerous teacher. I'm as friendly for you as you can think of. Okay, so please ask any number of queries. It doesn't affect me. I'm going to reply to all of your queries all the number of times. But when I ask you questions, I want that alertness and I want rewards. Okay, so please have that. When you ask me, I'm going to reply. But when I ask you, you are going to reply for any case. You have anything, any issues, come to me any number of times. I'm always there. Okay, but when it comes to ask your questions and your answers and your homework, you need to be very punctual on it. You need to be very sincere for it. Okay, so these are some thumb rules, some golden rules for this F3 class. Follow it compulsorily, mandatory. Okay, so anything that you want to ask before we start? Anybody has anything to ask, before I start and I tell you what we're going to study here? Introduce to the subject. Thank you, Rovancha. I want that thing from all of you, that you all are going to pass. Trust me. I assure you, you're going to pass. But we cannot just sit here, imagine, watch a movie and then pass, no? So you need to work hard with me. You need to practice. And I will ensure that you are going to be conceptually clear on everything and you're going to work hard. I'm going to work harder with you. Okay, but I need those efforts. So guys, we are going to clear it in one shot, okay, with very, very good marks. And let me tell you, my passing marks is not 50. For my students, passing marks is minimum 60. Okay, so have that passing marks now. So you need to get at least 60, 70, 80, 90, and I'm sure you're going to get it. Just be conceptually absolutely clear. Okay, okay, so let's get started. Let me introduce you to the subject FA, that is financial accounting. Okay, so I'll just share the screen. So basically in your foundations level, this is a third paper, F3. Okay. This is an applied knowledge level that you are in. MA or FA? Harkirat. FA, right? You're telling about this session, no? Please don't be worried. Be settled. It's not very out of the world and alien thing that is happening to you, right? Just be settled. It's always the first time, no? Everybody will be taking some subject as the first subject. So just be assured. For you, the good thing is it's mostly related to your 12th class. I mean, some of the areas are related to your 12th class, some terms. So you're not finding it difficult. You have any problems, I'm there. Ask me. Okay? Now just be confident and look here. So guys, our subject that we are going to cover is financial accounting. That's FA, paper number 3 in your foundations level. Let's quickly look here at the contents, okay, that what we are going to study. So the question is, no, ma'am, what are you going to teach us? So these are the topics that I'm going to teach you. I'm not going to read the topics because all of you have it. First point. Second point, what is the use of reading it when some points, as it is, you're not going to retain. But let's have a look. So we are going to be starting with introduction to accounting, the regulatory framework, and so on. We'll have different account heads to look into, like inventory, like tangible non-current assets. Now, these are all things that we're going to look from IFRS point of view. I will teach you, don't worry. Okay. Then we'll look at the trial balance. Then we will look at we are going to focus on preparation of financial statements. Okay. Some rules that you have to adopt for preparation of financial statements of a single company. Then preparation of financial statements of a group company. Okay, and similarly, their ratio, consolidated financial position, consolidated statement of P&L, interpretation of financial statement, that is basically ratio analysis. So we are going to start from scratch of the basic and accounting process, and we are going to end till analyzing those statements. Okay. Now, this is the ebook version that I have. Can you see there are further questions for practice? This is only there in your ebook version. This is like an extra question bank apart from your practice and revision kit. You know that you have 2 booklets set here. Number 1 is a workbook from which we are going to study. Number 2 is a practice and revision kit from which we do a lot of questions. Okay, so we do a lot of questions practice from those kits. And apart from that, we have in the workbook, we have question bank also for more and more practice. This is a section which is called as essential reading. It's basically a detailed understanding of that particular topic with the help of questions and some examiner's comments. These are there again in the ebook version, the essential readings. So if you have the ebook version, you can have access to this. What is the aim of your financial accounting subject? What are you going to learn from this subject, guys? What are you going to learn? So what you're going to learn is you're going to develop your knowledge, understanding of the principles, concepts, regulations relating to financial accounting. That's basically your concepts, understandings relating to your financial statements, P&L accounts, balance sheets, all those things. So we are going to be concentrating on these areas, suspense accounts, and so many things. Okay, so the basic requirement of FA is that you get a basic understanding Okay, you are able to prepare basic financial statements, not very complex, of single companies, of group companies. Complexity will come when you go to the second level, that is your skills level. So there in your FR, financial reporting, it's a complex version of your FA. So once you climb one step, then the second step on the ladder becomes more easier. Because when you go to FR skills, there you're going to be presumed to understand the concepts that you have done in FA, that is F3. If you have conceptual problem here, then you'll have conceptual problem definitely more complex in FR. So hence, this is like a root. This is like a core subject. For these subjects or the foundation levels are actually a foundation levels, because they lay foundation for your or future exams. So please be very, very attentive in understanding them. Okay, but this subject is very interesting because it's mostly practical based. So see the ladder in ACCA, how we go. So you are doing this financial accounting. Once we do financial accounting, you will have financial reporting in your skills level. That's the second step of it. And third, it is more, you will see the application of it in SBR, that is strategic business reporting, this subject. It is your P levels, professional levels. So right now at the first level of ACCA, you have to go to the second level, and then where a third level, you will meet with SBR. Okay, now comes the main point. Ma'am, how are the exams going to be? Are they going to be on the computers? Are they going to be in the paper format? Are we going to use pen and paper? What exactly we are going to do? Because in BCom, we keep asking for extra sheets, no? The more extra sheets you fill in, the more are the chances of your good marks. I hope everybody, those who are there in BCom, they will agree with me. But there is no concept like filling sheets over here, whether you're at the foundation level, skills level, or any level. Okay. Yes, is relatable. I agree. I have also done BCom, so I know that. Now, please, here we have professional approach. Professional approach is always to the point. Whatever is asked in the exam, please be very, very clear and specific to that point. Don't waste your time, because you don't have all the time in the world. You have limited 2 hours only available with you. So in 2 hours, you have to do a lot of things. Okay. So you have to be quick in doing those. Now comes the point. Your exams are always going to be only computer-based exams. So you're not going to have paper exam. You're going to be having computer-based exams. Next, ma'am, can we use a rough paper? Yes, you can use your paper. You can use pen. They will be provided to you at the center. And can we use calculators, any calculators? You can use the normal calculators that we have. And apart from this, you can use scientific calculators, but the ones which have, an option to display store the data, they are not going to be usable. So I'll show you some versions which are allowed. Okay, so you can get the scientific calculators for that purpose. But in FA, you don't need scientific calculator. You need the normal calculators only. That would do. Okay, and it's an on-demand paper. On-demand paper means once you're ready, you can just check for your centers, and you can check for the available dates, and you can book your exam. Okay, so you can book your exam for the available dates. You don't need to wait for the quarter. That in the skills exams are quarterly based. These are on-demand exams. See, in Corona, we had this option of remote-based exams. So you have to see, whenever you're going to appear for the exam, you have to just see in the ACCA Global. In fact, VGLD team will help you in understanding that whether you have any remote-based exam option available or not. Because it depends upon, the decision taken by the ACCA committee. So generally, if there is everything is okay, you don't have remote-based exam, you have center-based. And I prefer you all please give center-based exam only. The reason being, remote-based exams sometimes have some issues like, at the examiner's end, there's some network problem, your end some network problem, some technical glitches due to which your exam has got postponed. You're not able to proceed with your exam. Sometimes these problems happen. So therefore, I believe it's more better if you can have the center-based exam. And there are a lot of centers, those do conduct the exam. So you can just book your exam accordingly. Okay. Now, we will also be doing some questions practice once you are at the end of the syllabus on the CB specimen platform. Okay, this CB specimen software exams, so that you will be aware with the software also of the exam. So that when you're in the exam, you are not having a heart attack that, oh my God, I don't know this software. So I'll make you accustomed to it. Don't worry for that. Now, how do the CVs work? Let's quickly have a look at it. Questions are displayed on the monitor. On the screen, only questions are displayed. Candidates will enter their answer directly into the computer. Either you will select the option or you will type in the figure. You are not going to do anything else. Candidates will have 2 hours to complete the exam. I told you, foundations have 2 hours. Skills level onwards, you have 3 hours. Candidates. Okay, Arslan, you can contact with the VGLT team. They will guide you for that. Okay, just contact them. They will guide you. Don't worry. Okay, candidates sitting exams on demand are provided with the provisional result. So the good news is that when you're going to appear for your exam, you're going to see your result then and there. So either your heart will break or your heart will be happy. But I know all my students will have happy hearts coming, not the breaking of hearts. So anyways, whatever is the result, it will be displayed then and there on the screen once you finish off with your exam. That's a provisional result. The main result will come to you by way of mail in 72 hours. Candidates sitting the options, your options exam is not there. Okay, now candidates can check their exam status on the ACCA website by logging into My ACCA, your account, My ACCA. Okay. The best part with on-demand exam is that you can take it from anywhere. This is very, 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 positive thing. I mean, you can take it from anywhere and from if you can take it anytime. You don't need to wait for a quarter or a period to come in, then only you can take the exam. So foundation levels have this benefit. Now I would just take you to the paper pattern. That's very, very important. So let's just discuss the paper pattern. How many questions you're going to face? So you are going to face the questions in 2 sections. Section A, Section B. Section A has got 35 questions of 2 marks each. Okay, I will show you paper also, just a sample paper, so that you will know what kind of Section A questions come in, what kind of Section B questions come in. So Section A questions are total 35 questions for 2 marks each. Okay, and the questions can be like MCQ questions, where you have to choose one option, MTQ options. MTQ means multiple task questions. So you may be required to choose 2 options, 3 options, or you may be required to do match the following. You may be required to, select from the drop downs. You may be required to select a true or false. You may be required to calculate some figures and enter the value. So there are various ways in which you can be asked questions in Section A, but definitely it will be only either you will type value or you will select the option. That's all. Yeah, I'm coming to it. Now, the best part with ACC is when you are attempting your questions, please listen to me very carefully. When you're attempting the questions, there is no negative marking. Thank God. There is no negative marking here. But what does this mean? You're never going to leave any question. Suppose there are some questions you're not able to, remember it. There's something that you're not able to get the answer. Please choose any answer that comes first to your mind as a best guess. Why do you want to leave the question? Because there is no negative marking. So sometimes your guess may work. Okay, so don't leave questions. Another thing, and very, very important thing is, ma'am, is there any part marking? You may ask me, ma'am, is there any part marking? Suppose a question is asked, an MCQ question in section 8 is asked, please select the following, out of the following options, please select which two options are correct. Okay, you've selected two options. Now one is correct, one is wrong. So now your question would be, ma'am, will I get 1 marks because I gave one correct answer? No. In your section A and section B both, either you will have 0 marks or you will have 2 marks. You will never have marks in between. Okay, either 0 or 2. So if you got both the parts correct, 2 marks. If you got even one part correct, one part wrong, 0 marks. I hope I'm clear on it. Absolutely. Okay, so your exam is for 2 sections. Section A we discussed, 35 marks questions for 2 marks each. So there are 35 marks for 2 marks each. Section B, now 35 into 2 is how much? 70. So Section B is for, again, 2 marks each. But how many questions are there? Now Section B is a case-based. Case-based means what, ma'am? Case-based means you are going to have 3 cases over here. Okay, there are going to be 3 scenario-based questions. So scenarios will be given to you, that a background question will be given. Now that background question will have 5 parts. So 5 parts and total 3 scenarios. So total questions how many? 5 into 3, 15 questions. Each question is of 2 marks. So 30 marks is the total for section B. There is no relation that if first question is wrong, second is correct, so you will get 0 marks. No, each part is separately marked for 2 marks. But the rule remains same. You got all the parts correct. If you got the full answer correct for that part, you will get 2 marks. If you got part answer correct for that part, you will get 0 marks. This is either 0 or 2. Only these 2 marks you will get. You will not get any part mark. And please understand, this is all computer based. Means computer is already being, already synchronized with some formula, with some formulas and permutation combinations. So your paper is automatically, corrected with the computer modes only. There is no manual intervention. So there is no examiner who's going to read your answer. You just have to select your answer and type in the values, nothing else. So all the workings that you do in your working note will be a rough work that you do in a paper or the scratch pad which is there on the screen, which is not submitted to anyone. The moment you submit your paper, that screen goes off. Okay, so there is nothing that you can just write it in the rough note and you expect that the examiner will give you part marks. No, nothing like that. Okay, so either you'll get 2 or you'll get 0. So again, I'm repeating. Now your question is, the paper is divided into 2 parts. Section A, 35 questions of 2 marks each. Section B, total 3 scenarios or 3 cases, each case with 5 questions. So total 3 scenarios, 15 questions, 2 marks each, 30 marks. So total becomes 100 marks. You got 2 hours to complete the full paper. Can we do it? Yes, you can do it. It's not difficult to complete your paper in 2 hours and get the great marks. Yes, you can do it. Okay. Now, I will just discuss few points now only because they're important for you to have that habits from day 1 only. Don't wait for the classes to end and then you inculcate these habits. Yeah, I would come to your question. So Pooja has asked me a question. Ma'am, can we change the option afterwards if we feel that the first option we chose were wrong? Yes, absolutely. Until you submit the paper or the time is over, you can do all the changes that you want. I will tell you in the paper, in the screen when we were doing the questions, I will show you, you have an option of flagging of the question. You have the options of flagging of the questions. Flagging of the question means that you can just flag off the question. So flag off means you are not sure of that answer. So you are just selecting the question, marking it so that you can come back to it later. But the drawback with the flagging of question is, if you flag the question means if you have marked that question and you don't unflag it till you are submitting the paper, that question will not be marked. Because for computer, that's basically an understanding. Flagged question means the question has not been attempted. Only when you unflag it, then only question is marked, either correct or wrong. But till the time you have flagged the question, your question will not be marked. Okay, so it's very important that if you're flagging of the question, you should unflag it. Now I've got a very good question asked by Sanya. That's the approach that I want. Do we have AIR in ACC exams? She's asking, ma'am, that do we have your, all India ranks in the ACC exams? Yes, you do have. Okay, yes, you do have. So get ready to get those. Okay, now I want you to have that, Sanya, and everyone in the class. You have to grab it. But the ranks come in from your, the ranks come in from your skills level. So from foundations, you don't get ranks. From skills levels, you get ranks. But then you are being given recognition certificates when you get good marks. Yeah. Apurva's asked, ma'am, if we haven't given the BT and FM or MA, actually, you want to ask, right? Not FM. So if you have not given the BT and MA exam, will we be able to give FA? Yes. BT is not related to FA. MA is not related to FA. So yes, you can appear for it. The best part with ACC is there is no sequencing. Then you need to appear for F1, then F2, and then F3. Foundation level group, you can appear all the papers just in any sequence that you are comfortable with. Clear? Absolutely? Good. So guys, few tips, and then you ask me questions. Few tips that you have to inculcate in yourself from today only. In fact, from this moment only have that. Number one, if you want to get the great marks in whether in FA or any subject or in your skills level, so it's a base that you have to make. Number one, you're always going to read your question properly. I know so much of things, but if my question has only asked me for a particular thing, why do you want to jump in the ocean of so much information? Please only pick that information that is relevant for you to ask a particular question, to answer a particular question. Okay, be very, very particular to what is the requirement of the question. So answer your questions accordingly. Don't try to confuse yourself by having unnecessary, information stacked up in your brain. If there is a question in front of you, you know that I just need to remember only these areas to answer the question. So please have that approach. Okay. And read the question very, very carefully. Because what happens sometimes, which of the two are correct? Which of the two are not correct? Only term difference is not, but the answers will be wrong. If you're not reading the question and you're being, I know, I have to just choose the two options which are correct. And then after you've done everything and you realize, oh my God, I did not read the question properly. Don't have that approach. Today, from day one only, start reading the questions properly. And that would mean that please have patience in reading the questions. Okay. Number two, correct interpretations of the requirements. So the very important thing is first, language understanding. You should be able to understand the language, that is English language, that is for the exams. In the exams, you will find questions in that. So somebody who's not very, very comfortable with this language, please start reading your text from today only along with me, and you will get all the comfort. Number two, and very, very important, is please try to understand your question's requirements. Don't try to jump to answer directly without understanding what is the requirement of the question. Because if you interpret the question wrongly, you will end up having selected the wrong answer. Third, answer planning, priorities, structure, and logic. Of course, please plan your answers, structure your answer in a way that you're able to give accurate and quick answers. Accuracy and speed both should be maintained. Efficient numerical analysis. There are questions which will not give you options. There are some questions which will just tell you type in the figures. So you need to be so much accurate that you are without options, you are able to type in the figures. That's very, very crucial, and that is very frequently asked in exams, these type of questions. Effective writing and presentation. So it's an objective task, objective paper. You don't have to write, so you don't have to worry for that. Good time management, very, very important. You have 2 hours. Okay, 2 hours means 120 minutes. Total section A questions are 35. Section B are 15. Total 50 questions you have to do in 120 minutes. Okay, so I would say you're not going to take more than 2 minutes per question, because not every question will be done in 2 minutes, right? So if you have done a benchmark, if you've set in your head, I'm going to complete my question in 2 minutes, 2 marks, 2 minutes. So you have to develop so much of speed in doing those questions. But they can have a strategy. For example, theory questions sometimes can be done in 1 minute. So you're saving 1 minute over there, which you can use in some numerical question. So have those strategies. Don't look at the time and say, oh my God, it's 2 minutes have not been over for this theory question. So let me just sit and wait for 2 minutes. Don't do this, please. 2 minutes is an average time that I'm talking about. Okay, this is the average time that you should take to complete your one question. Keep an eye on the clock, very important. Not right now when you're doing the class, but in the exam, that's very important. Because timer will stop, so your paper will automatically be submitted to ACC. You will not be having any, ma'am, please wait for 5 minutes, I'm writing. No, that option is not available. Computer screen will just, computer screen will display the message that the paper has been submitted. So you don't have any option beyond that time. And along with what we do in the class, you're going to do lot of questions as a part of a self-practice. You're not just going to depend on the class, that if we have done in the class 10 questions are sufficient for you. No, you have to do additional questions, because we have a time constraint in the class. So I cannot take up the entire book, though I try to cover maximum portions. But for that, and whatever we have not covered in the class, cover it on your own as a part of a self-practice. Do you have any doubts? Ask me. Okay? Okay, before I take up first chapter, and that's one chapter that we're going to take up today, please tell me you have anything to ask for whatever we have discussed till now. Any questions, any queries you have, please ask me. Anyone has anything to ask, put up in the chat box. When you don't have any queries, it gives me a heart attack. It would mean 2 things. Either you have fully understood what I said, or you have not understood anything. So I believe you are opting for the option number 1. Yeah, I will make you used to that. So I will open the ACCA platform also for you right now. We will see that, the specimen exam. I will just show you now, so that you can just attempt questions over there and you get used to that scratch pad. There is an online scratch pad as well as paper pen are also given to you in your remote exam. So paper pen becomes more faster mode, right? So you can use that paper exam in your center-based exam. Papers, pen in your center-based. But please understand, if you are appearing for a remote-based exam, a remote-based means you're appearing from your home, then you are not allowed to have physical paper and pen. Then you are compulsorily going to use the scratch pad only. So that's more important. Yes, be rest assured, notes would always be given to you, with your chapters. So for suppose if any chapter is not requiring notes, then I would not be sharing it. You have the book with you. If the chapters that require notes, I would be sharing all the notes. Okay, don't worry for that. Okay, everyone, let's have a quick look at one of the papers, that what is a sample paper would look like. Okay. I hope everybody is able to, absolutely clearly look at my screen. If there's anyone who's got some videos problems or some audio problems, please put up in the chat box. Yeah. So one more thing, Paneet has asked that LMS, if we need previous class sessions, LMS access is going to be given to you by VGLT team. Just contact them. So you will have recordings of all the classes, notes uploaded on LMS. Okay. All notes, all recordings of the classes will be uploaded on the LMS. In case if you have missed out on the class, which I don't really want you to, I want everybody to be regular in the class. But if due to some reasons you missed out on the class, or even after attending the class, you want to go through the recording for some clarities, you can always go through it. Okay, that's always available to you. For views and all things, please contact team. They would guide you for that. Chitra has a question. Can we also do some sample mock tests before the exam? Of course. It's not can. You are going to do mock tests before your exams. Otherwise, how you are exam ready? So in order to make you exam ready, you will be appearing for mock test, which I would be giving to you. Okay? No. So I'm showing you one mock paper. Okay? That's basically how your exam will look like. This is a section A. See, this is the first question. You have given some statements, and based on it, you have to select the correct option. That is, the question is, which of the following criteria must be present in order for a company to recognize a provision? Is it first step? Is it one and two, or is it one, two, three, or is it 2 and 3, or is it 1 and 3? So you have been given different combinations. You have to select the correct combination. Please understand that if there's a round box means you're going to select only one option. And if there are square boxes, we'll see later on, that means you have to select multiple options. So if there's a round box, you just need to select one option. Like here, again, you have to just select one option. Again, here, there is a theory-based question. So you have to select only one option. The next one, you can see it's a numerical question, right? So you have to work out, you have to do the calculations and type in the value here. The currency is already mentioned dollar. You have to just type in the value. Fifth question, again, you have to type in the value. Sixth is again a theory-based question. You have to select the correct option. Seventh, select the correct option. Eighth, you have to type in the value. Ninth, again, you have to calculate the things. After calculation, you have to select the option. Here also calculation and then selection. Here, typing in. Here again, select one option. Here again, you have to calculate the current ratio and then select the option. See, can you see there are a lot of theory questions also? In these theory questions, you can save on your time. Instead of putting all 2 minutes, you may be just doing these questions in 1 minute. Okay, Again, here you have to do calculations and select the correct option. Same here. There is no set format. Chitra is asking me, now how many questions for typing answers at your own? There is no set format. It depends upon the paper that you are receiving in, how many questions are there in it. There is no format that tells that 10 questions are going to be selecting one option, 5 questions with selecting 2 options, or typing in values. No format. So I cannot, tell you, is this what you get in your exam? So here also you have to just select your options. Some are with calculation, some are just theory based. So you can see here, these are theory based. Again, there's a calculation over here. Okay, here also you have to do calculations and then type in your answer. Here again the same. Now you can see here your answer is divided into 4 parts. So for every part you have to select whether it is correct or incorrect. Now here, even if you got 3 parts correct and 1 part wrong, you will get 0 marks. If you got only all the 4 parts correct, then only you will get full marks. Otherwise, you will get 0 marks. So this is very essential. Here you have to select the journal entry. The journal entries are given. You have to do the corrections and then select the correct option. Here again, typing of values. Here again, selecting of options. Same here. Now you can see, I was talking about these square boxes. Square boxes means it's very clearly written here, you have to choose 2 options. So you will only choose 2 options. If you choose 3 options, your answer is automatically wrong. Square boxes allow you to choose more than 2 options also. Right? So instead of, basically, square boxes are only there when you have to choose more than 1 option. So it can be 2, it can be 3, it can be 4. So please read the question carefully and then only attempt. Now, out of 2, if you have selected 1 correct option, 1 wrong answer, you will get 0 marks. Okay. Now, Apurva has asked a very, very interesting question. Apurva says that, ma'am, will there be any marking scheme so that we can know how many questions are going to come from a particular chapter? No. Like I said, Apurva, it's not BCom. It's a professional exam. There is no set criteria that chapter number 1 will have 2 marks question, chapter number 3 will have 3 marks question, and so on. No. It can happen that maybe one chapter has got 20 marks of questions and another chapter has got 0 marks of questions. So you have to give equal weightage to all chapters. There is no set criteria that a chapter will have particular number of questions. Okay. So now you're here, 2 marks, your section is over. Now, next is section B. You can see, everybody, please look here. This is a scenario which is given to you, that this is the following information about the limited liability company. It's their P&L and their financial position statement. That means balance sheet. Financial position statement is the balance sheet. Okay, now you can see that based on this data which is given to you, there are few questions asked. Yes. Now it's not necessary that you will have 5 questions from section B only. It can have 3 questions also. It can have 2 questions also. And the total marks is 30 marks for section B. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether you have Romanchak, I'll come to it. Okay, so please pay attention. Section B, total marks are 30 marks. It can be in the form of 2 questions. It can be in the form of 3 questions. Okay, so there is no set criteria. I'm sorry, for the 2 marks for which I said, it's valid for skills level. For your foundation level, there is no 2 marks question over here. It's not needed. Sometimes you may have 5 parts of the question. Sometimes you may have only 3 parts. Sometimes you may have only 2 parts of the question or 4 parts. So there is no set criteria how many parts of the question you will receive. Like for example, here we have 3 marks, 3 tasks. First task is you have to fill in all these here figures. Second task is you have to type in the figures here. And third task is you have to select 2 options. So the total marks is 15 marks for this. Question number 1 of section B. Question number 2 of section B again has got some data, and now based on which you have to you have 2 tasks to complete only, not even 3 tasks. Okay, you have only 2 tasks to complete. Task 1, task 2, and the fill in the blanks is given. So you have to just fill in those details. Okay, figures. So this is how your section A, section B looks like. Okay, and Romantic has highlighted that, ma'am, when you study the syllabus, when you read it, you somehow get a feeling that these are important, these are not, but please don't carry that feeling. Because I've seen many times in exam, the topics that we considered that they're of less importance, they were asked for at least 20 to 25 marks in the exam. Generally, it's not the case, but then please give weightage to all the parts that you do, all the topics that you do. I hope I'm clear. Is there anyone who's got any confusions for whatever we've discussed in now, the paper pattern, the exam pattern and all? Okay, Pooja has asked a valid question. The marking scheme of section B questions we will do when we are doing when we are doing questions practice. Okay, so there is a separate marking scheme for section B. Okay, now Pooja has asked that, ma'am, in task 1, for example, here in task 2, there are so many blanks. So it has got so many options. So would we get marks only when we complete all the options? No. In section B, we have part marking. Part marking means, suppose here 10 steps are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so there are 10 steps over here, for example. So it may be, we will see the part marking scheme. Generally, it is 1 marks each. So if how many number of steps that you have correctly entered, you will get step marking. Okay, but suppose if this is 1 marks and you have, written, let me show you an example here. This is task 1. Now, for example, this is fair value of consideration received, transferred. When you did that working, you got half step correct, half wrong, due to which here your answer is half correct, half wrong. But that doesn't mean you'll get half marks. You will get 0 marks because there is no step marking in the particular answers. I hope I'm clear. If 1 marks is for this part, you will get 1 marks if you write it correctly. If you don't write it correctly, you will get 0 marks. Okay, but 5 marks would mean there are 5 steps over here. For each step, you will have marks. Okay, now, Rucha has, ma'am, from where we can get the workbook and which book to refer for F3? See, in the class we follow BPP, so I want you all to buy BPP, because then it's more easier for you to do the questions and relate to what I'm teaching in the class. So it's better, please buy BPP books, and or if you can buy it from VGLD, I think they give some offers also, so just avail it and you can buy the books. All of you should have the book. The next class that we have, or at least by next week maximum, should have the books. At least the ebook versions you should have. But I know that will take some time, so I give you at least in a week or so, you please get the books to you. So you please order the books by today or tomorrow only. Okay, and any other queries in the sample format, please put up in the chat box. Clear? Okay, just give me a moment and I'll be there. Then we will see the ACCA global site. Okay, just give me a moment, and nobody's going to leave the class. That's not allowed. So I'll be just there in a moment. Thanks a lot. Okay. So the next question is by Lakshay. Is there or will be any choice in questions? Choice in question means you are out of the 35, you have to just attempt 33. No, all questions are compulsory to attend. All questions are mandatory. So there is no choice. Okay, like I said, leave your BCom things now. Okay, so here in professional exams, you don't have any choice. So here in ACCA, there are never a choice questions. You have to attempt all questions compulsory. Yeah, Pooja is asking, ma'am, there will be no negative marking for the wrong answers. Yes, absolutely. There will be no negative marking for the wrong answers. There will be no, marks that you're going to lose if you give a guesswork for your answers that you don't know. So that is why I say don't leave any questions behind. Attempt all questions because there is no negative marking. Okay, any further questions? No? Okay, then now let me take you to ACCA website. This is a website that you should regularly check out. Okay, this is a website that you should regularly check out. I'll tell you why. All of you, have you seen this website? I believe yes. Right? Yeah, so this is your ACCA global website. So this is your temple, right? This is your temple that you should visit every day. We will be doing the chapter romantic. Don't worry. This is an introduction class. So first, let me make you core, very, what do you call, familiar with your subject, familiar with your ACCA background, because there are things which are important. Now, guys, everyone, just look here. You will go to your ACCA website, and everybody, I want you to focus here on the screen. You have to visit this, and I'm not going to repeat it all the time in the class. So you please pay attention once and for all. You will go to students, you will go to study support resources, and you will go to your ACCA qualification. You will select your subject. I hope everybody is able to follow me. Now, from your subject, on your subject, you can see that there are so much input given here in the ACCA Global, which is very, very helpful. So you all are going to visit it regularly and get the understandings. Now, for example, you have here examining team guidance. These are very important. These are some examiners' insights for the various attempts. See, examiner's guidance for the structure of the paper, for the exams that happened between September 20 to 21. So basically these examiners report tell you that, what were the mistakes that they found generally in the students doing. So what you should do to ensure that these mistakes don't happen. For example, see, how was the section A performance generally? How was the general performance? Examiners have given this report. Suppose this is an example in front of you. The correct answer is suppose C over here. Okay. So now for every option, they will make you understand that why A is not correct, why B is not correct, why D is not correct. And generally, what was the mistakes done by the students. So like this, they take some sample questions. Like here, they have taken some 6-7 questions, including section B questions. And then these are the comments of the examiners. So these are very, very helpful because if you know what are the common mistakes done by the students, or in a particular answer, what you thought and what is the correct answer. So where your thought process went wrong, you can understand it by the examiner's report as well. So this is a very, very important report that you should follow, that you should visit, you should check out. Okay. This is the syllabus. Then the next important thing that I would take up is your technical articles. Technical articles, these are topic wise, some very, very, very good write-ups, some videos, they're there for these some limited points of the subject, like adjustment to financial statements, preparing simple consolidated statements, preparing cash flow statements. So these are few topics on which we have technical articles prepared by technical experts, which would always help you in understanding the topic even more in detail. So You can visit them also. We can visit this technical article also regularly, so that just to check out on the different topics that you may be having problems. Excuse me. Now, this is a pass percentage that you have. Never see yourself in 23% in the balance percentages, those who have not cleared. Plus, this percentage does not give you a guarantee that you're going to clear. You can fall in those percentages which are not clear, or you can fall this side. That depends upon how good practice you are doing and how much clarity you are having of the concepts. Okay, so these numbers are really not important for me. What is important for me is how you are preparing for your exams. Now, everybody, those who asked me, how does an exam environment looks like? So this is an examination specimen exam that I'm just opening for you to have a, an understanding of that. So this is how your main exam screen will also look like. It will give you these details. Section A, 35 questions, 2 marks each. Section B, 2 questions, 15 marks each. Earlier there were 3 also, but now it's only 2. So now you have only 2 questions of 15 marks each, totally 30 marks. This is the format that is already given to you. Please understand, unless you scroll up, scroll down, you will not be able to proceed. Very important. I'll comment on it, Chitra. Okay, guys, I believe these are few instructions that are given to you. Understand, you will not be able to move ahead unless you scroll up, scroll down fully, so that you need to be now used to with this. Now, can you see here? This is my examination screen. Okay, this is my timer. Just like this, your timer will be on your screen when you give the exam. It works backwards. This is telling me I'm on my question number 1. It is, I've got 0 of 2 marks. See here, since it's mock test, whatever answer you will select, you will have your marks over here. But in a main exam, marks are not there. This is my test detail progress. So it tells me how many questions I've attempted, how many are complete, how many are incomplete, and how many are flagged. Remember, I told you about flagging. Suppose I want to flag this question. I'm not sure about it. I want to come back to it later. Can you see this? I've selected the option. It is telling me it's wrong. But in the main exam, this would not be given. Now, suppose I'm not sure about it. I'll flag this question. Now let's see in the test progress. Can you see it is showing me flag? It is complete and flag. Unless I unflag it, it is not going to proceed. It is not going to be counted as a question which I've attempted. So I need to remove the flag, unflag it. Only then this would be counted in my total. So we can see here in the test detail progress, it is showing me complete. Okay, I hope I'm clear on it. Now you can always go ahead, and suppose I want to go to section B question. I'll go to section B. It is the background given here. Then you have the task. So here you will be typing in. Here you have a drop down option in which you are selecting. Okay, and here you are typing in the data. So each data that you enter carries marks. Yeah, I'll explain you how to flag. Each data here carries marks. So if you enter the data correctly here, you will get marks. If you enter it wrong, you will not get marks for this step. But for others that you have entered correctly, you will get marks. So now here, just see the second question wants me to select yes or no. It's a round box. I can only select one time, yes or no. So only one of the 2 options I can select. Okay. Here again, each part will have separate marks. So I think it's 8 parts. That means each part will have 0.5 marks. You can see here, I got 1 correct, so I got 0.5 marks. I got 2 correct, so I will have more marks. So if I'm getting correct answers, my marks are getting increased. Okay, is that? Now, once you're done, then when you go next, you can submit it. Now, again, suppose I'm not very absolutely confident for this question, and I want to come back to it again. Pooja, focus, everybody focus. you are going to flag this question. Pooja, can you see here on my screen? There's a flagging option. It is flagged. Now in your exam progress, you can see that 36th question is flagged. So now if I want to remove it, I'll click on it again and my flag will be removed. Clear? Right? This is how your paper looks like. Anybody has got any queries in this paper pattern? Everybody, are you absolutely clear? You can raise your hand also to tell me that. Not physically, virtually. You have raise of hand option available. Yes, Chitra is used. Okay, great, good. So now you know what you have to do. And now you know how the question paper also looks like. Does it look like too scary? No, right? So you can do it. So tell yourself every day, I'm going to do it. Yeah, Rucha, you can obviously change the answer. You just saw it, no? These are all editable. So I can always change the answer. Don't worry. You can always change your answers. Now, Chitra, you asked me that every person is carrying different paper or what is that? These are multiple papers that are available on the screen. So if you're sitting and there are 3 people sitting in, along with you, all of you may have different papers. Okay, so they are randomly selected by computers. There's no paper pattern as such. Fine. Okay. Now, guys, let's go to a topic. Let's go to a subject and let's do the first chapter. So, everyone, please have your concentration intact from day 1 only. Okay. On a daily basis, notes would be shared. They would be uploaded on the LMS. Don't worry for that. Okay. So the first chapter that we are taking is essentially a kind of a recap of what you've done in your 12th and your BCom first year that you're doing. Introduction to accounting. Yes. So you're going back to your first year, you're going back to your 12th class. And so that means I can have answers from you, and I want everybody to be alert because I can ask questions anytime. And sometimes I give wrong answers so that some of you can correct me and give me the correct answers. That means everybody needs to be awake, right? Guys, the first chapter that we're doing is Introduction to Accounting. So that's Welcome to Accounting. This chapter basically says Welcome to the accounting world. So we'll know a little bit, not much in detail, about the tits and bits of accounting, like P&L, a basic structure of P&L, a basic relevance of financial position, what are assets, what are liabilities, things like this. Not at all, Sanya. Let me tell you, not at all. In fact, you are the one who's going to give me the maximum answers if you're in class 11th. Okay, you are going to give maximum answers, trust me. Because you are just learning everything fresh, no? Okay. First topic that we are doing is nature, principles, and scope of financial reporting. Looks very technical. It's not. Let me put it very straight to you. So here we just want to understand that why, what we are doing actually. Why you want to record the transactions. Why you want to, suppose I have bought 10 pens for me. Why I want to do that entry in my books that I have, the stationery that I've bought. Why? So that we can maintain a record of expenses, income for a month, for a year, and then we can prepare our balance sheets and P&L. So basically, then we would know whether we are doing good business or not, whether we are having enough funds or not. So in order to know the financial position of a person, the profitability of a person, we need to prepare the financial statements. And for that, what we adopt is financial reporting. What is financial reporting? That you are reporting or recording the transactions, you're analyzing them, you're summarizing them in order to have meaningful information. Okay, no need to mug up the definition. Even I am not mugged it. Just understand it logically. Second is, there's a very, very interesting thing. What is the difference between financial accounting and a management accounting? And who's bigger? I mean, a financial accountant is more bigger role, or management accountant is a more bigger role? Financial accounting is a more bigger concept. Why? Because financial accounting is basically financial accounting and management accounting. You can just make it out by the term also. Financial accounting means that here you are concerned with preparation of the financial statements, all cash flow, P&L, balance sheet, everything, as per the rules and the standards of the accountings, the accounting standards that are applicable for a country. Why you want to do that? So that you're able to see the correct picture of the profitability of the financial state position of the company as a whole. And this basically is required not by the management of the company, not by the creditors, the employees of the company, but by the shareholders also, right? The shareholders want to know that what kind of company I'm investing in. For example, the shareholders of Kingfisher Airlines that time must have regretted, no, why we had the shares of Kingfisher Airlines. So therefore, we need financial statements to tell us the picture, the correct picture that is happening for the company. Then the investors, the shareholders can take a decision whether they want to remain intact with the company or they want to leave the company. Employees can also take those decisions. So therefore, financial accounting is very, very important. Now, what is management accounting? Accounting done by management? No. Accounting done from the point of view of management. What does it mean? It means, for example, what is management interested in? Expenses, minimizing the expenses, increasing the revenue. So we have variance analysis conducted under management accounting. Now, management is more concerned about reducing the cost. So we are concentrating of cost in management accounting. Is it a part of your financial accounting? Of course, yes. Because everything that we do ultimately goes to P&L balance sheet only. Right? Ultimately, it goes there only. Effect goes there only. So management accounting is definitely a part of financial accounting. It is more concerned for accounting from the point of view of management, like taking care of the costings and all. I hope I'm clear with this. Okay, so what is management accounting? It is a management information system which analyzes the data to provide information as a basis for managerial actions. That is, from the management's point of view, the actions to be taken, so it provides information relating to that. So far, anybody has got any doubts, please put up in the chat box. So far, we just started with the topic. We just done 2 small topics. Anybody has got any confusion, we'll put up in the chat box. Yeah? Okay. Now let's move ahead. Guys, nobody is going to be sitting idle. You can be asked question anytime. So now, here we're just discussing this financial statements. Broadly, there are how many financial statements? Can anyone tell me? What are the different financial statements that we prepare? Generally. Very good. I've got so interesting and intelligent students in the class. Now, we don't say trading and P&L account, okay? We don't say trading and P&L account. We don't say balance sheet. So let's understand the technical name and the more beautiful names here. So the name is Statement of Profit and Loss Account. Number 2, Statement of Very good. Statement of financial position. What is statement of profit and loss account? Precisely your trading and P&L account. Please understand, we don't follow that, the T-shaped P&L, T-shaped trading account, T-shaped balance sheet here. No, that's no longer in existence. We follow vertical format. So that has got different schedules and all prepared in a way. Okay, that's a little different from what you studied in 11th, 12th, and BCom, because they are not updated with the latest laws, but your professional exams are updated with the latest rules. It's just the presentation difference. Okay, technicality is same, just that we have presentation difference, nothing else. Yeah, we follow always the company format, the vertical format. Okay, third statement is, like all of you rightly put up, statement of cash flow. Right? I hope everybody is able to familiarize yourself with these three. Now, guys, my first question to all of you, and I don't want any bookish language. I don't need any mugged up language. Okay. First and the foremost thing that's very, very important in a P&L is income. Can you tell me what is income? What is income? Very good, Romanchak. Perfect. Any gains that we get from the business, guys, make your brains run now. Yes, so it's not just the revenue, Chitra, that is your income. Revenue earned by performing your business activities, but your interest income is also income, right? So any gains, any income that is earned, yeah, so anything that you earn, okay. Here, when I say income, it is not profit. Income is not revenue less expenses. Income is total of revenue from operations plus your other income. When you add both of them, we call it as income. Okay. So can I say technically that income basically means when your assets are increasing? Assets are increasing means the company is doing good, it is earning well. And income is a result of increase in assets, decrease in liabilities, okay, or increase in the shareholders fund. Can I say that? This is what we can relate best toward income, because income will only take place, when your assets increase, when your liabilities fall, and when your equity increases. So yes, technically, it is income. I know what you all must be saying, ma'am, it's too heavy. It's not. Okay. Now, second, what is an expense? Reverse. When your assets are falling, when the liabilities are increasing, when your equity is going down, that means additional liabilities, additional expenses. Clear? Everyone? Are we clear absolutely with it? So now we know absolutely clearly what is income. Technically, assets go up, liabilities go down, equity goes up. Reverse is expense. So just see the format. Just see the format for your P&L account. P&L account can be prepared monthly, quarterly, yearly, half yearly, as per the wish of the sole trader or the company who's preparing it. Okay, companies will take later. Right now, we are just going to do for sole traders. So as per the sole traders who are preparing. Now, who's a sole trader? The one who's trading alone, right? We have sole proprietorship. We have one person who's doing the business, one person army. That's a sole trader. Okay, we'll come to it also in a while. So look at the format, everyone. How does it look like? Number one, we have sales. That's a revenue. Number two, we will reduce cost of sales. How do you find cost of sales? Don't learn it. Cost of sales is your opening plus purchases less closing. Okay, this is, and plus direct expenses. This all will become cost of sales. Then we get, when we reduce from sales, when we reduce cost of sales, we get gross profit. This cost of sales is basically what we show in the trading account, right? So if you forget any time that whether opening stock is to be added or to be reduced, please remember your T-shaped trading account. Opening and purchases get added here. Closing stock is on the other side, so it will be removed. It will be reduced. Okay, remember it like that. From the gross profit, now we'll add other income or the sundry income. Okay, and then we will reduce the expenses. All the expenses we will reduce. So then what we get is called as profit. Okay, then what we get is called as profit. Let me come again. Everyone, just focus. This is the format that we follow. Now look here what I'm trying to say. I will prepare a T-shaped trading account. We have sales here. Sorry, we have opening stock here. We have purchases here. We have direct expenses here. Everybody can relate to it. Then we have sales here on the credit side. We have closing stock here on the credit side. And then generally, if the credit side is more than a debit side, we have gross profit. Tell me, are you all absolutely clear till here? This is the format that you must have done in your 11th, 12th or BCom. Chitra, are you clear till here? Guys, please revert. Use the chat box. Now, I don't want anybody to sit idle. Okay. So, we're just putting this in a vertical format now. We are changing the design of it. It's like, you know what? It's like you've got an old dress. So, I've got an old sari. Now, I've converted it into a dress. This is exactly what we're doing. We're just changing the presentation. That's all. Okay. So, now, how the presentation is changed? I've kept sales here. Now from sales, I'm reducing cost of sales. How will I reduce cost of sales? I will add all these three and I will reduce the closing stock. So I will have, this is called as cost of sales. When you reduce this figure from sales, what you get is gross profit. Right? Exactly the same, as the presentation is different. So what we are doing to calculate cost of sales? We add opening stock. With this, we will add the purchases. Okay, opening stock plus purchases. We will add all direct expenses like carriage inward and all. Then we reduce our closing stock. I've entered all the details that were there here. So now what you get is cost of sales will reduce from sales, and what we get is gross profit. Yes, everybody is with me. Now from gross profit, you will add other income that we show here. So now how do you do gross profit working? Once you get gross profit here, when you're preparing your P&L, you write here by gross profit. You add your other income over here. And we reduce the expenses, indirect expenses over here. Everybody is able to relate. Then finally, what we get is called as net profit. Here also we are doing the same thing. With the gross profit, I will add other income. And I will reduce expenses. Then what we get is called as net profit. Is this clear with everyone? Are you clear now with this? Chitra, are you clear with this? In case Chitra, you're still not clear, we'll put up in the chat box. Okay. Okay. Chitra, where is your problem? Tell me, where are you getting stuck? Only Chitra will revert. And if there is someone who's not able to understand, only that person will revert. Okay. So Chitra, please tell me, where are you getting stuck? You're clear till gross profit? Listen what I have done. I've added these three. How do you get the gross profit, Chitra? Please tell me. Okay, everyone just look here. I'm putting some figures now. Everybody just look here. See, this method is just to explain you. Okay? This method is not allowed in your exam. We'll be just following this method. Everyone, I'm just taking one example. Sales is 100. Closing stock is 50. Okay, opening stock is say 70. Purchases are 80. Opening stock is 40. Purchases is 50. Direct expense is 10. How do you get gross profit? Everybody, please tell me. Rucha and everyone, we add sales. We add closing stock. We reduce opening stock. We reduce purchases. And we reduce direct expense. When I adjust all this, I get gross profit. Why? Because total on both the sides should be same. Here the total is coming 150. Here the total is coming 150. This means this calculation is correct. Now what you got for gross profit, when we prepare P&L account, we just make it a double entry here. We just transfer it to P&L account. So from trading account, I'm transferring this balance to P&L account. Therefore, I'm writing this gross profit figure again. Now, if there is income of suppose 60, I will add here income. What is the total of these two sides? It's 110, right? Now, suppose there are some other indirect expenses like rent, like advertisement, like this. If there are other indirect expenses, then I will write here, for example, that indirect expenses 80. The rent, electricity, your salaries, your advertisement, traveling, conveyance, stationery, all those expenses. So here, how will I get my net profit? When I reduce from the total, when I reduce the indirect expenses, I get net profit. First, tell me, is there anyone who's not clear with this? Because this is an assumption that I have. This you must have done in your, your 11, 12 BCom. So are you clear, Rucha? Harkirat and Sanya, are you clear till here? Yeah. Chitra, are you clear till here? Okay. Now I'm just presenting the same format here. Look here. Okay, I'm putting instead of sales, now I'll put a figure, sales value is 100. Cost of sales is everything that you have done here. Now put this in a group. So what you did here in your gross profit, you added closing stock. Okay, we added closing stock and we reduced these opening stock. So this is what I'm doing. Please see the sign. Sign is you reduce the cost of sales. So when I reduce cost of sales, I am reducing these figures and I'm adjusting closing stock because I'm just reducing the net figure, right? So this, please understand, you're not adding to the sales, you're reducing cost of sales. Reducing means you're going to do an internal working over here and then you're going to reduce from sale. Just look here. Add opening stock, add purchases, add closing stock. So opening stock is 40, purchases is 50, other direct expense is 10. From this, I will reduce my closing stock. So understand that this is minus cost of sales. So if I'm doing minus, minus and minus will become plus, minus will plus will become minus. So this is what we have done here, no? All the expenses are with minus sign. So when you have a minus sign and you add with your plus signs, it becomes minus. So you can see here, all these become minus over here. Closing stock is positive. Minus plus minus will become plus. You know, minus minus become plus. So it is showing a positive closing stock. I'm just elaborating this formula. Yes, that means it is all reversed here. Why it is all reversed here? Because we are preparing this as a working note. And whatever final answer we get, that we are going to reduce here. So just look here. 40 plus 50 is 90 plus 10, 100. 100 minus 50 is 50. Right? So I'm just making a sum over here of these three. These all. We get 50. Now, what is your closing gross profit? Sales less your cost of sales. Sales less cost of sales is 50. Can you see your answer is matching? Is this clear with everyone? You're just doing reverse writing over here. That's all. Presenting, you're doing reverse because you're writing here less cost of sales. I'm not writing this individually. I'm making a group and then writing the final answer. So therefore, we are writing it in the form of like opposite signs. Is this clear till here? Please tell me. Gross profit. So I want this clarity. Rucha, Snanya, are you clear? Harkirat, Chitra, is this clear till here? Okay. Chitra, are you clear? Okay. Now you got your gross profit. Now again, just like here, add other income. Here we are not doing a group. Here I'm not doing a group. Okay. I'm writing it separately. Why? Because this is the format of IFRS. Okay. So other income, I'm adding here 60. Indirect expenses, I'm reducing here 80. Now what you get your net profit? You've got gross profit plus other income less your indirect expenses. So what we get profit as 30. Is this matching? Is this clear now? We have just done the same format, but just a presentation is a little bit different. That's all. So now are you clear? Absolutely. Those who had queries? Clear? Good. Never mug up, okay? Just understand the logic. I gave you this T format to make you understand the logic. That's all. Don't use it in the exam. You will use this format in the exam. Alright, great. That's great. So we'll not use 100% clear. We'll use crystal clear. Okay, guys. Again, focus here. It's the same format. I'm again repeating it. You have sales. You have cost of sales. So less cost of sales. You've done the adjustments. Opening plus purchase plus expense less closing. You got gross profit. Now you're adding other income, less expenses, and you get your profit for the year. Terminology is changed. Here we don't say net profit. We say profit for the year. I did reduce it. That is why I put it in negative. Now we are doing a less expenses. That is why I put it here as negative. Is this clear, Chitra? With gross profit, I added other income and I'm going to reduce expense. Then only I'll get profit, right? Or for presentation, I can just remove the negative. That's also okay. I will remove negative here and in the formula, I will write minus. Will it be okay? Yes, is this clear? Okay. You can see here, their expenses are also in negative here shown. So precisely what we're doing is we're taking a sum. So we are going to add with gross profit the income and we are going to also add the negative figure. When you add negative figure, basically you're reducing it. So your answer becomes the same. Okay. Yeah. Now, important thing in this PNL, what you have observed, a major changes, you have to mention your gross profit as sales less cost of sales. Because it's a vertical format. So vertical format has this rule. Okay. And sales would always be the sales that we make during the year. We'll be doing all these in detail. That is from your main operating activities. Suppose my business is to make furniture. Then my main business, operating activity is making furniture and selling it. So my sales would be all the revenue earned from this furniture business. But if I'm investing, I have some spare funds, I like FDs. So I'm investing in FDs and I'm earning interest. Is my main business to earn interest? No. So then it's not a part of my sales. It's a part of my other income or sundry income. This differentiation should be made at our end so that we give incorrect answers in the questions. Correct? Is this clear? Okay, let's move ahead. Now let's have a quick look at the statement of financial position. Statement of financial position is a balance sheet. Okay, technical name and the more beautiful name is statement of financial position. What does it show? It shows your assets and show your liabilities. Okay, and for a business at a particular date. Please understand, P&L account we prepare for a period. Financial position statement we see at a particular date. Okay, and we see assets and liabilities. Again, T format is not allowed. We will only look at the vertical format. So let's have a quick look. First, let me have a quick look on it. So it is statement of financial position. Again, please see it's for the sole trader that we are looking at. Sole trader is the one who is doing his business on his own. He's not a company, he's not a partnership, he's doing on his own. So now we will have vertical format. Vertical format means first we are going to show the assets, then we are going to show the liabilities. Assets total will take, and we'll take liabilities and the equity total. Okay, equity and liabilities. Equity means share capital, liability means liabilities. Let's see how it is different from your vertical format, from your T format. Okay, so you will have a quick understanding on this. So this is your statement of financial position. How do you make your balance sheet? We used to write here assets. In assets, what we used to write? Like suppose we have fixed assets, right? Then we used to reduce depreciation. And then we would get net fixed assets. Then we would add the current assets. And finally, we would get a total. And here we used to take liabilities. On the liability side, what we used to have? Share capital. Then we used to have reserves. Right? Then we used to have the long-term liabilities. And then we used to have short-term liability or current liabilities. And we would get the total. I hope everybody is familiar with it. I don't think there's one. If there is anyone who's not getting the familiarity with this, please tell me. Now let's convert it into vertical format. When I convert it into vertical format, I will first start with assets. Okay. In the assets, now we don't have anything like fixed assets. We call them non-current assets. There are current assets and then non-current assets. Details will take in all these individual topics. Okay. Right now we're just understanding the format. So now I'm using the same data, but instead of you writing fixed assets, I'm writing non-current assets. I'll underline it and I will make a list of all the non-current assets. For example, I have motor car, I have land and building. Assets would remain same. And so on. Suppose I have 2 assets only. Okay, Profit, we never used to add directly in the capital. Profit gets added to reserve. Okay. So reserves include the profit for the year. I will write here for your understanding. It includes profit for the year. Okay. Yeah. Now here you would have just like that fixed assets. You got your net fixed assets. Now here you now one more thing. I missed out. Here we used to write investments also. Okay. So now here also you got non-current assets. And after non-current assets, you will have your non-current investments if they're non-current. So we'll mention them separately. We'll write their non-current investments. Okay, non-current investments. Now, after this, we'll have the current investments. Give me a moment. So now we'll have current investments or current assets. In current assets, you will write all the list of the assets that we have. We have the cash, bank, current investments, debtors, closing inventory, right? Your prepayments, everything will come here. So suppose here we have debtors. We call them sundry debtors also. Now, remember we used to use the term debtors, but here we use the term trade receivables. That is technical names given. That's all. Purpose is the same. Okay. Suppose we have trade receivables, we have cash. Now, instead of stock, we call it inventory. So once you got all the assets, okay, now you will take the total. Same thing here. We have done same thing here. We've done nothing different. Okay. Now it's a vertical format. See, it's going down, down, down. Now, once you get the total, now let's go to the second head. Second head is equity and liabilities. Instead of writing just the liabilities head, we are writing equity and the liability. And same things we are going to write here. We are going to write here for an individual. So I'll just make it from the individual's point of view. It was from company's point of view. We have capital. Okay. We used to add profit. And we used to reduce drawings. Remember? Right? Same thing we are going to do here. So in equity and liabilities, we'll have capital. We will add profit for the year. And we will reduce drawings. Okay, now what you get the total will come here. Same thing, see, I've just copy pasted the same thing. Now, once you get the capital, now we used to have here long-term liabilities. Now here there's no term like long-term. So we will have non-current liabilities. Same thing now, we have non-current liabilities and then we have current liabilities. Okay, now you'll get a total over here again and then it should match so that the balance sheet will tally. Are you clear with this now, everyone? Are you able to compare the difference between your horizontal format and your vertical format? There's anyone in the class who's got a query, please put up in the chat box. Clear, right? Okay. Anyone in the class who has a query will put up in the chat box without any hesitation. Yes? Okay. Good. That's what I want crystal clear in everybody's head. Nobody's going to learn things. So here is the format that we have just discussed. Few points to note. Know what are assets. What are assets? They are basically it's a resource for a company. It's a present resource that is going to give future benefits to the company, right? It is going to be in the company for a longer period of time. Your non-current assets. Current assets are going to be there in the company, which is going to be converted into cash in about 1 year from the balance sheet date. If the period of holding of the asset is more than 1 year from the balance sheet date, we call it a non-current asset. So sometimes, you will find your debtors also to be non-current. Because if your debtors are outstanding for more than 1 year, right now, suppose I am on 31st March 2022, and I don't see my debtors, some debtors to be getting, who are going to pay me back for a year now, and I assume that they're going to be paying me after a year, then I will categorize them as non-current also. This is the concept of IFRS. IFRS is it's not just that your fixed assets which are non-current. Sometimes your current assets can also be non-current. No, they can have some portions as non-current. So please see the position as on a particular date. Please see on the balance sheet date whether an asset is a non-current or current, whether a liability is a non-current or current. Just check whether you are going to receive money, whether it's going to be converted into cash within 1 year from the date of balance sheet. If yes, current. If no, non-current. Simple logic. Same applies to liabilities. If you're going to pay off the liability within 1 year from the date of balance sheet, it's a current liability. If it is not going to be paid, it's non-current liability. So please clarify them accordingly. Okay. So yes, non-current assets are those which are going to be held with the company for a longer term, not for a short term. The purpose is not to convert them into cash. Purpose is to hold them in the business because they are required. For example, I require machinery in my business in order to manufacture the goods. So it's a long-term asset for me. It's a non-current asset. I don't require my debtors to be with me, same debtor balance to be there for more than a year. Of course, I don't require, because I need cash to run the business. Unless I receive money, how will I run the business? So therefore, generally, I would want them to be in the current category and not in the non-current category. Why this classification is needed? So that investors know when they look at the balance sheet, management will know when they look at the balance sheet, that how much current assets are there, so that they know how much liquidity they have, how much non-current current liabilities are there. They know that how much they have to pay, how much obligations they carry to be paid within a year. Right? So this all data will help the investors, management, and the other users to assess whether they want to be with the company or, they want to change. Now, I'll just give you a few examples. We are not going to read the text, okay? But some relevant things I'm going to capture and we're going to discuss. Today, we'll not be completing with the chapter because we discussed few other things. Doesn't matter. In the next class, we definitely will be completing a chapter and the next chapter also. Don't worry, we're not going to go in a hurry. Now, quickly, guys, just 5 more minutes I'll take. An asset is a present economic resource which is controlled by the entity. Why control? It has got the ownership. As a result of past events. Past events means, suppose, we have bought the machine in the past, it is going to give us future benefits. So this is what? Asset. An asset is a resource, is a right that has potential to produce economic benefits. Like I said, few examples are like factories, office buildings, warehouses, delivery mans, lorries, etc. Some assets are held and they're used in the operations, will be used in the operations for a longer time. For example, office building. Some assets are used in the operations for a shorter period of time. Okay, for example, the owner of a news agent shop, for example, has to sell daily newspapers on the same date that he gets them. The more quickly a business can sell the goods that it has, the more profit it is likely to be made. So for a newspaper person, his newspapers become the inventory, right? So inventories definitely doesn't want to retain. He wants to sell them as quickly as possible. So this is why it is a current asset. But the same person, he has got the newspaper printing machine. Now he doesn't want to sell it, right? He wants to retain it. The reason being, the newspaper printing machine will only help him have more newspapers. So it's a long-term asset that he wants to have. So different things will be of different importance. Accordingly, we have classified them as non-current or current. Same rule for liabilities. Okay. So let's have 2 questions discussed and then we'll leave for the day. Everybody, give me the answer for activity 2. Quickly. Which of the following is an asset according to the definition in the conceptual framework? The definition that we just discussed. Which of the following is an asset? Tell me. easy. B, 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 B. Everybody are correct. Very good. Now, one more instruction. Whenever you're sending me answers, please send direct message to me. You know my name. You can see my name. Please write it directly to me. Because we have some intelligent folks in the class who will not take the pain of thinking and writing. So please write all your answers directly to me. Very good. Absolutely great. Superb. Number 3 question. Activity 3. Liabilities. Quick. Let's see who gives me the answer more quickly. Which of the following is a liability? Quick. Let's see who gives me the correct answer. So easy, is it? Who gave me the answer? B. Who's sleeping in the class? Yash? I asked you for liability, not asset. Liability is loan. It's so clearly mentioned. Yeah. No. That's okay. No need to be sorry. That's okay. Thank you. For now, you will be awake in the class. We did not ask for an asset. Read the question carefully. Number 2nd tip that I gave you. Okay, that's okay. So now liability is loan, absolutely clear. Rest all were assets. So we'll stop here for today. I hope the first session was understandable and you can grab in the concepts. And it was not at all a boring session. Please tell me that. Yes. Timings are going to be 7 to 9. Okay. 7 to 9 p.m. Fine. They're always going to be 7 to 9 p.m. Thank you so much and be there in the next class. Nobody is going to miss the session. Sanya, connect with me on the WhatsApp, okay? Okay, everybody's in the group. I hope there is nobody who's out of the group. Any problems that you have for books, okay, for ebooks and all, thank you so much. Now, for ebooks and all, please contact the VGLT team. For queries, concerns in this topic, subject, contact me. Okay, thank you so much. And I believe now you all have overcome your fear, Harkirat. You have overcome your fear. It was my first session, first class. It's going to be smooth sailing. Just that you have to do your work on time. Today we had a bit more fun. Next time we'll have more studies. Okay. Please carry your calculators, notebooks, always in the class. Do not leave them in other room. Keep it with you in your room. Take care. Bye-bye. Good night. Sleep well. See you on the alternate day. Okay. So we'll meet on 19th now. Bye-bye. Definitely. I'll take it. Don't worry. And we'll have all the formats discussion, Rucha. Don't worry. We'll have all these coming up. But I'll take it again. You also please go through the things. Everybody please revise till whatever we have done. Take care. Bye-bye. Sleep well. Mehek, you're not there in the group. Please contact Sandeep. Sandeep, sir, you know Mehek? Yeah, please contact him. I'll also tell him to add you. Bye-bye. Take care. Good night.